The King's back. 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 The King's back.
What's up? What's good? What is happening? I am the actual King Smith, and this is my Wednesday Warrior Mindset series, in which I am trying to embark knowledge on some people to help them change their mindset and in turn change their life. We are streaming across multiple platforms here. You can find me on Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, X, Kick. And I feel like I'm missing something. TikTok. The only thing about TikTok is this. If you're watching on TikTok and you comment, I'm not going to be able to see it. All right. Today's series is going to be about handling adversity and the art of bouncing back. Let's get that up on the screen here. All right. Seeing setbacks as setups. All right. When a king faces adversity, the art of bouncing back. That is going to be what we talk about today. We're going to have 3 perspectives and key points to discuss and highlight. And then we're going to end with some comments. See if we have some people that have anything to add to this topic. This topic right here, it's not a sexy topic. When you're talking about a mindset series, if I were to come on and talk about something scandalous or some type of celebrity news or whatnot, people would be in here for it, right? But when you want to come in and talk about how to change up your mindset, some people are like, but the people that need this knowledge, that need to have an understanding of it, will likely be the ones that ignore it. And those that understand how changing your mindset can change your life, they'll hear these kind of topics, they'll pop in and they'll add their perspective to it because they understand the value in how having a better mindset can change your life. And I'm trying to have a king mindset. Let me change that. I will have a king mindset. not about having a peasant lifestyle over here. Let's see who we got in the building early, and then we're going to get this thing rocking. Shout out to God Happened to Me said, loving the intro. Loving in all capital letters. Hey, I like it. There's some things that I need to tweak to it, but it's going to be incorporated as I improve upon my live stream situation going into 2025. All right. So, what are our three topics today? The three topics that we're going to be discussing today are seeing setbacks as setups, which I've touched on in some of my previous Royal Mindset series episodes. Taking a look at building mental and emotional fortitude. We're going to talk about why that's important and why you should incorporate that into your royal mindset when handling setbacks and reinforcing your throne of resilience. And then the last thing that we're going to cover here is having a comeback strategy, reclaiming your throne. I used to do this podcast called Reclaim Your Throne back in 2019, 2020. Got about 19 episodes in and did okay. And what happened? Well, I started to see success, and instead of keeping up that series, I slacked off. But I'm not slacking off this time because I've got to where I am now in life through hard work, grind, some luck, and some help. And it is my goal to share what I've learned in hopes of helping somebody else the same way that people shared knowledge and helped me. So that's what we own today. Let's get through the first topic, the royal perspective, seeing setbacks as setups. Now, when you're leading your kingdom, things aren't going to be hunky dory 24/7, right? Life's going to hit you in the face. Life is going to slap you in the face. I believe it was Mike Tyson that was quoted as saying, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. If I'm wrong on that quote, let me know in the comments section, right? But every great ruler will face a trial, a famine, some type of policy that they've enacted that people just aren't on board with. I'm talking about from the perspective of having your own royal mindset. Sometimes when you want to enact a policy in your own life, your own convictions, your family, people around you, there's a host of other things that could be challenging where you're trying to go. But how you respond will define your reign. It's how you handle those adversities that will determine whether you're going to skyrocket up in life or be stagnant and stay the exact same. In 2025, it's not about excuses for me. When I hear somebody give me excuses about something, I'm telling y'all, to me, it sounds like womp, 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 womp. I don't hear it. My whole face and demeanor will likely change on your ass because I simply don't have time for excuses. If you're staying stagnant in something, it's nobody else's fault. It's not your skin color. It's not your education. It's not where you're from. It is your fault. Plain and simple. It is your fault. I've always talked about having that mindset shift and taking failures as lessons, not losses. If you don't learn from something that you're doing, then you're dooming yourself. You're just going to simply stay stagnant and you will not have a comeback. All right. So take your setbacks and use them as setups for the next thing in life or the next goal or the next milestone that you're trying to reach. Plain and simple. All right. The next thing we're going to talk about, building mental and emotional fortitude. How do you develop mental and emotional fortitude? What does that mean? All right. Simply put, mental and emotional fortitude is the stuff that you have that you can use to adapt to change and persevere in the face of adversity. Right? What tools do you have techniques, what things that you've adapted to. Maybe you've seen this already. So if you go into something that you've seen already and you do the same thing and you expect a different result, I have another thing to tell you. I got a bridge in London that I'm willing to sell you. It's not going to happen. If you want a different result, you have to take different action steps towards the things that you're trying to accomplish in life. If a failure slaps you in the face, but you do the same thing the next time that it comes up, then you haven't learned anything. You haven't learned anything at all. God happened to me said, the truth hurt. My stagnant situation is my fault. It's okay to admit that. And I'm glad that you did. I am glad that you admitted that. And it's fine. I've hit some stagnant situations in my life, and you look at it, you breathe it in a little bit, and then you go, okay, how do I fix it? It's okay to even take some time to process it, but don't just let it sit and fester and do nothing. Unless you just want to drop it. If you want to drop whatever it is that you're doing, there's no harm in that either. But you take that and you learn from it. All right? The biggest thing for me, and where I see people fail in various groups that I'm in, where people talk about their setbacks, is they get too emotional. Whatever you need to do to become stoic on some things, I recommend taking emotion out of it or just managing your emotion. Think of some of the greatest leaders in your life and think about times that they've talked about adversity. Hear the way that they respond to that adversity or just the way that they talk about trials and tribulations that they went through in their life. 9 times out of 10, they've probably shared this story so many times, they're able to just regurgitate it without using a lot of emotions and things that go along with it. But I'm telling you, how you manage your emotions will help you be able to uh, 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 gain the fortitude that's needed to be able to get through bounce backs. Setbacks and bounce back towards a greater mindset in life. I'd like to ask y'all this. This was one of the questions that I wrote down as I was building tonight's live stream. What techniques do you have for self motivation when everything seems to be against you? I have an answer for that. And I talked about it last week. I think that people misidentify discipline and motivation. And if I were to rank an importance between just those two, I think you put discipline above motivation. Do the small things that you need to do in life and take pleasure in accomplishing those small items and use those to build up to bigger items. One of the things that I'm going through right now, I just had a defibrillator implanted last Friday. Am I 100% healed? No. But I'm taking every day and I'm resting and I'm doing the things that I need to do to be able to bounce back so that I can live a long, healthier life. But I'm using discipline for that. I'm not out here trying to go lift heavy when they told me not to lift above 10 pounds for at least like 14 days. I'm not out here trying to, when I know I still have to do laundry, lug heavy laundry baskets up and down steps. I'm taking the time to rest and I'm being disciplined about it. I ain't left my house in 3 days since when did I get back home? It's Wednesday, since Sunday. Haven't left the house. Do y'all see me having any type of cabin fever about that? Nope. I'm being disciplined. I understand that as I do the things that I need to do and being disciplined about those things, I'm building a better me. And it's my mindset that's allowing me to heal faster. There are several things that I am undisciplined about. Don't get me wrong. But you work on one thing at a time. You work on one thing at a time. God happened to me, said, "Sir, give me the laundry." Yes, ma'am. That's too easy. That is too easy. Draws and all. The royal draws are clean, Your Highness. Yeah. No, for real. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. The last thing that I am going to highlight here, and this might be one of my shorter Royal Mindset series for today, is reclaiming your throne. Once you have gotten past the setback in life, own it. Realize that you did have a setback. Own that ish, and then create a clear vision about what it is that you need to do going forward so that the next time something does hit you, it doesn't knock you 10 steps back. You don't need to take 8 steps forward just to get hit back 12 steps because you didn't do things, you weren't disciplined enough during those initial 8 steps to be able to absorb that much of a hit once adversity does slap you in the face. So have a vision, learn from the failures, and own your throne once you get it. And don't let anybody take it away from you. One of the things that's important too, that I think some people don't understand, and I'm not quite sure how I learned this, but the power of patience, right? Having patience, understanding that, just because you haven't reached your goal in 3 months when you gave yourself 3 months, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're sitting at a full stop. I know somebody that talked about being able to drop weight in pounds, and they wanted to get down 30 pounds in 6 months. They set a plan, things went in motion, and at the end of those 6 months, they were down 25 pounds. They didn't hit their 30-pound goal weight, yet they had a lot more energy. They had some body recomposition that had occurred as well that made him happy. So although he didn't hit his full goal, he didn't view that as a setback. That didn't cause him to spiral and just say, you know what, screw it, I can't do this. His clothes was fitting him different. He was happy with the progress that he made, so he reframed that. Still called it a failure because he didn't hit his numerical goal, but there were so many other positives that occurred because he took actions that when he went through his next 6 months, he was able to adjust his goal and still find success being measured in other ways that he didn't necessarily think about when he originally set his goals. I'm big on patience. I'm big on how you can reframe something. Don't lie about what occurred, but again, reframe those failures and turn them into successes for the next time. People don't really understand how powerful that is. They don't. And I don't know of a sexier way to say that. Don't change what occurred, but reframe it so that you can make it better for yourself going forward. All right. And then the last kind of point that goes along with this, and I talked about this in several of my other prior Royal Mindset series, aligning yourself with the right allies, mentors, supporters, accountability partners, people that you can count on to keep you in check when you're not necessarily doing the right thing, and they're not just going to be yes people. Those folks that they may not be friends, they may not be family, y'all might not even chat from time to time, but if you know that you got something that's a good thing and you want to cultivate that, you can reach out to those people that are invested in your success. There's a comedian who does a lot of writing. He does way more writing than I do. I don't know when's the last time that he's been on stage, but from time to time, he'll reach out to me and ask me if a joke that he's written is funny or not, right? Iron sharpens iron. I may not be on the stage anymore, but I've um, attended enough comedy courses, enough comedy instruction, several comedy shows to understand joke structure. I'm not an expert by any means. You know, there's several other people that he knows that he could bounce things off of too, and he likely is doing that. But he reaches out to me from time to time and says, "Hey, is this funny or not?" And there are some stuff that I'm like, I didn't think so. And he appreciates me being able to say that and not just like, yeah, dog, yeah, man, that's funny. No, sometimes I'll be like, maybe consider restructuring this way because the punchline didn't really make sense. Being able to have the fortitude to say something like that when people reach out to you, and vice versa, having yourself the right allies are key to being able to reclaim your throne as well. So this is going to be a short live stream for me. There's somebody in here that I'm not quite sure on Kick is a bot or not, so I'm just going to assume he's a bot. I need to create my own Discord. If I had a Discord, let me know if you use Discord down in the chat, and I'll create my own community for this. I would like to cultivate a community of people, not just men, not just women, not just whatever you identify as, people. You have to identify as a person, though. If you're an alien and you cool, let's talk, though, because if you give me powers, that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, I would like to cultivate a community of people, maybe even join somebody else's community. I don't know, of folks that are trying to change their mindset and showcase those wins. Talk about those successes. Help others that may be trying to achieve something greater in life. In 5 years from now, I'm telling y'all, I have a vision of some things about where I'm going to be and what I'd like to do. And I smile every time that I think about it. Unless I'm not breathing on this here earth, when 5 years passes by, watch. Watch and see where I'm at. And it's going to be based on everything that I'm talking about on this Royal Mindset series. Because it's about having the right mindset. That's my live stream for the night, people. I'm going to call it a night so I can still rest and recover from having this defibrillator implanted right there. Does it hurt still? Not as much as it did yesterday. Day by day, everything has been a lot better for me, and I'm appreciative of that. For those of y'all that have called, text, emailed, Facebook message, Instagram DM, whatever means, bird pigeons, thank you. I've seen it all. I have tried to respond back to most people. There's some that I know that I haven't got back to, but I will here shortly as I'm still resting up. Don't let what's going on in the world dictate your mindset. Fortify your mindset now so that as life slaps you in the face, you're sitting back tall, chest out, shoulders back, and you're doing like this. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. That's where I'm at. Hope y'all are there too. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out. Peace.